Hello and welcome to another weekly update. In fact, the last weekly update of 2017. We are, well into the Christmas season, well into the Christmas period. Hope you had a good Christmas. We're in that weird bit between Christmas and New Year. The house smells mildly of mulled wine, and the camera is balanced on some mince pie boxes, so it's all going fine here. Had a little kind of get together last night, so the house is kind of a bit of a bomb site, but I thought I'd just get out some of the tidying by quickly recording this. Well, I thought this was going to be a kind of a quiet one, and in some ways I prepared just a bunch of things to talk about that weren't specifically related to the news, and then Microsoft came along and just dropped a whole load of new stuff on us. So I'm referring to a blog post that I wrote yesterday around Microsoft Teams features, and if you remember, back in October Microsoft published a roadmap for Microsoft Teams, which was kind of a big deal at the time because it's relatively unusual for someone like Microsoft to publish a roadmap and say, we're not committing to these things, but this is what we're planning. And it was really good to see, and gave people a lot of confidence around some of the capabilities that were coming to Teams to kind of match those kind of Skype for Business capabilities. And quite a lot of those features were in the roadmap as being delivered in Q4 2017, which is obviously this quarter, and which ends in a few days' time, tomorrow as I'm recording this, on the 31st of December. So anyway, yesterday, just to back up a little bit, at the same kind of time that the roadmap came out, a lot of those features went into the Office 365 roadmap online, which you can go and look at, and they're all showing as in development, which makes a lot of sense. And I've been periodically checking that website to see if the status has been changing. And nothing had been happening until yesterday, when I checked, and suddenly a whole bunch of new features had all moved over to launched. So grabbed my laptop, went through the list, searched for them all, and came up with a list of 27 features which are now showing as launched from the original roadmap. And in the blog post I list them all out. There's too many to talk about, but there's some really good ones in there. There's some focused on calling, so you've got things like transfer, blocking, forwarding, E911 support, extension dialing. There's some meeting support stuff around muting other participants, application sharing, support for other devices, and there's some messaging stuff as well. The messaging stuff is particularly interesting because in the roadmap it was showing as coming in Q1 2018, so it's actually an early delivery. The other thing I've done is I've taken the original October roadmap, which is a PDF, which listed out all the features that were planned, and I've just put ticks by all the ones that have just been launched, so you can see kind of visually. And actually there's a huge number of features, and the spread is really good, and it's a really, really high percentage of the things they said they were going to deliver in Q4. That makes it sound like there's a couple of things that they said they were going to deliver that they haven't, and that is true. There are a couple of features which are being pushed out into Q1 for next year. So first of all, I think it's congratulations to the Microsoft Teams product team. It's a huge amount of work that they committed to delivering, and they then delivered on that. So really well done. I think it's a huge kind of confidence boost to everyone around Microsoft Teams. It's really good to see those features going into Microsoft Teams, and so as a developer it's good because the development support for Teams is really good. So I have no problem with people moving over to Teams from a development perspective, because there's good development APIs, there's good support to do things, and there's more stuff coming down the road as well. So exciting times. I think 2017 has definitely been the year for Microsoft Teams, and 2018 is going to be very interesting for Teams as well. Other things that are happening, and I think this just got missed off last week's weekly update. I talked about the graph reporting APIs. What I didn't mention, because I didn't know at the time, is a number of PowerShell commandlets which are going to be deprecated and therefore will stop working soon. The time for these is, I think, quite short, 29th of July 2018. So once you get back into work, you have basically a month to do something with any services that require and rely on these particular commandlets. So it's worth having a look at the list. There's a really good table that lists all the different commandlets and all the like the related reporting pages and what they show, and what their description is, and then what is going to happen to them. So you can use that to work out if you need to make changes to avoid stuff stopping working. And that's pretty much it in terms of news and things that have been happening. Like I say, I think 2017 has been a really good year for developers in this Skype for Business Microsoft Teams space. I think we've had some really good news on the Skype for Business front. We've had the announcement of the vNext server release, which I think is good for all those big important line of business applications, so that you tend to use UCMA and client-side applications. It's good that there'll still be a way of doing those and building those types of applications. So I think that's really good. And then there's a very exciting time as well happening in Teams, and it's very good as a developer. It's very good to see that really from the outset and from its very beginning, Teams has always had good developer support, and that's been baked right in. It's not being added, as an afterthought. So I think year in review, I think it's been a very exciting year for development in this space, and I think 2018 will be equally as exciting because of the things that are coming kind of down the line, and also shoring up and kind of increasing in capability of the things that are there right now at the moment. A couple of other things I would leave you with, I think, are two blog posts which I've found useful. The first is how to conduct an end of year productivity review. So I keep an eye on a couple of different blogs and things, and one of these is Chris Bailey's A Life of Productivity blog, and in there he's got the process of going through. It's good time. I find New Year is a good time to just take stock and just look back at the things you've done the year, things that went well, the things that didn't go well, what you wanted to do, what you actually did, and then make some plans for 2018. And this blog post is a good place to kind of just read up on that and gives you some ideas. And then finally, something I've literally just read before recording this is a blog post by Phil Hack, and the title is Work Hard and Love Yourself, and the tenet of the message is go to the gym. Basically, go and lift some weights. And if you're in the Bellevue area, then he has a very specific gym you should go and join, which is his gym. And if you don't, like the rest of us, then it's still a good read, actually, because it just kind of the points he's making are, look after your body, you'll feel better, you'll work smarter. Take the time to kind of invest in a bit of physical exercise, and you'll feel better for it. I think, when I do my end of year productivity review and look back over 2017, I think physical fitness is one of the areas I've let slide a little bit. So it'd be good to get back into doing some of that. So I think that kind of touched a nerve with me, which is why I'm including it. So yeah, it's a good read. Good one to kind of read at the same time, maybe as doing your productivity goals and your 2018 goals. All right, well, thanks very much for watching this weekly update. Thanks very much for watching all the weekly updates I've done in 2017. 2017 was the year in which I started doing these weekly updates. It was around middle of February time, and I've done one every week since. So it's been good for me on a kind of purely selfish level. It's been good to kind of have that regularity of making me commit to kind of doing something like this, which has been really good. I hope it's useful to you. Let me know what you think, any ways it can be improved, any ways it could be made better, things you don't like, anything like that. The feedback is always really useful. So thanks very much again for watching or listening, regardless of whether it's on YouTube or you get it on the podcast. Have a very happy new year, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the first weekly update of 2018.